Hey everyone, welcome back to the stream. We're keeping it real, goes right. Welcome back to Big Home Live on RT Dub. I've got a fantastic show unplanned for you today. So much to get into, so much to talk about. A lot going on in the world of pro wrestling, in case you haven't realized. We're, of course, going to talk about this mess of a situation that is the Andrade situation. Where is he going? What is he doing? How has that been? And what is the likely future of that scenario, as he has been seemingly blocked from appearing in any wrestling company for the next year? We'll talk about that. We're also going to talk about the WrestleDream pay-per-view that is going to be live tonight at I should say, not at, at the Chaffetz Center in St. Louis, Missouri, a nice town. I had the chance to go there last year for Dynasty. So, like the first AEW pay-per-view I will not be attending live since Double or Nothing in May. So, great for my wallet, great for my sciatica, and fantastic that I get to sit back, relax, and watch this from home. All that much more coming up right here in the stream. First of all, I need you guys to do a couple of things. One thing guaranteed, if you're watching, welcome. Be sure to smash that thumbs up. If you haven't already done so, consider becoming a channel member. You get access to a lot of exclusive stuff like perks, such as custom emotes, and of course, specific locked content and early access to future video essays. So go check that out. Hit that join button. And, of course, leave your questions in the chat. And if you want to guarantee your question or statement around the air, leave a super chat. We have a super chat goal of 5. If we get to 5, I will be going live after AEW WrestleDream goes off the air. And we'll chop it up about that. So, 5 super chat goal there. We'll see if we get that. But let's sound off with some hellos. Greetings from Amsterdam. I'm so sick of WWE. They are being so petty with the whole Andrade stuff. That's why I love AEW. And true, they aren't great, but they care about wrestling and the fans. I think, a lot of that is accurate. By the way, Amsterdam, if you have any recs, I will be visiting there very soon, and I'm really excited to go there. So feel free to drop some recs too, man. Shout out to Jamie for that. What's up, Frank? Good to see you, my friend. Frank in the chat says, I can't defend WWE or AEW for this mess with Andrade. Yeah, a lot of this is undefensible. Hangman is going to win the match. Samoa Joe is going to grab the belt, look at Hangman for a few seconds, and give him the belt and raise his hand. We got Nostradamus over here, WrestleDamus over here, predicting the future. Thank you, Wall Street Money. That I Quit match is going to be insane. For the way they built it up and considering the history that these two have, not just with each other, but the stakes that they have raised time and time again throughout their careers in these more hardcore matches, I think it needs to be. It needs to be like genuinely the craziest thing we've ever seen in a pro wrestling match on North American television, I should say. But we'll see. I'm very intrigued by that. In my view, that match should probably main event. I think if you watch the Go Home Dynamite, which was like a very divisive show, and parts of it were like really good. Like the Darby Mock stuff was, I thought, really good. I think the wrestling on the show was like very underwhelming for what you would expect on an AEW show, and substandard in that respect. But I do think this Mox and Darby thing is like essentially what this pay-per-view is been built around. And we'll talk more about WrestleDream. Wrestle Dynasty is a completely different show, and Dynasty, for that matter, is a very different show. But we'll get into all of that much more. AEW should have checked out his contract before putting him on TV. I mean, yeah, we don't know if AEW had access to his contract. I mean, I assume that they would ask for it, and we don't know what Andrade gave them. But it definitely is not a good look for AEW to have a talent make a big return on such a major show, no follow-up, and then poof. I'm going to Amsterdam in early November. I may be as well. It's going to be cold as hell. we got here? The build for the match has been fantastic. Yes, Darby versus Mox has been a spectacular build. It has been impeccable. It has been stupendous, as some people would say. It has been a stupendous build. I'm here for it. T-Mill says WWE being too petty. Why do they care about Andrade now? So let's get into a little bit of this. So first of all, if you guys want the full breakdown, yes, Wall Street Money, cover your eyes, shield your ears. I am going to plug something real quick, but it's actually something that I think is relevant. Over on Wrestle Vibes, I did I basically have oh god, what was I basically done an entire what's it called, an entire not class but primer for the Andrade situation. I got 4 videos outlining just everything that has gone on and how this is developed. So for further detail, go check those out. But I will kind of break down and summarize the major points here. So Andrade, in, I believe, mid-September, I think it was September 13th, was fired outright by WWE. The reports have indicated that it was likely due to wellness violations. We are not aware of what the wellness violations were, but he was fired outright, not released due to budget cuts, fired outright. The expectation was that because he was fired outright, there was no non-compete because he was not being paid for any period of time. Normally, when you're released by WWE due to budget cuts, you have a 90-day non-compete, but WWE pays out your contract for those 90 days as if you were still on payroll. Okay? So that was not the scenario here. Instead, Andrade was fired outright. And it seems like, unbeknownst to Andrade, his representation, and AEW, after Andrade, just a couple of days later, appeared on AEW Dynamite, it was revealed that Andrade had a non-compete with WWE. Brian Alvarez reported this. Sean Ross Sapp now has reported this. PW Insider has reported this now. And the big thing that was revealed through all of this reporting, I believe Brian was the first one on the scene on this specific point, that the non-compete is reported to be 1 year in length, and Andrade will not be paid out for that calendar year that he is going to be virtually hindered from working anywhere. Now, there's the question, well, is he allowed to work, in Mexico? Is he allowed to work outside of the United States? We don't know yet. He's been pulled from a couple of shows already. But one thing we know for sure is this non-compete is in effect. He will not be appearing for AEW for a calendar year. Now, the big question on everyone's mind, how will this hold up? And yes, everyone over the last couple of months has become expert in contract law. I am not going to pretend to be a quote-unquote expert. I am not a lawyer. However, having been around independent contracts in my life before, having seen what that looks like, having been an independent contractor on a couple of occasions, I can tell you that in my experience, given the knowledge I have from talking to people who are more experts on the situation, it would be a precedent-setting thing if this was ever taken to court and held up. Because a 1 year my short way of saying, in my very novice way of saying this, there's just no way this holds up if it goes to court. I believe Fightful had reported that Andrade has representation, and it's like good legal representation, We don't know if he's moving forward with anything. But, man, it is a mess. And let me tell you something right now. A 1-year non-compete with a talent not getting paid is an insane thing. It's been revealed since then. Like, some contracts have leaked, and I believe Fightful and a couple of other sources have reported on the specific contract language that has come out. And it looks like this is now standard in WWE. Not if you are released due to budget cuts or mutual parting of ways, but if you are fired due to disciplinary or policy violations, if you are fired due to that, then you are subject to a 1-year non-compete, which will hinder you from working for any other major wrestling company, it would seem. It's insane. And I know, look, Frank, I know you're saying it's a mess for both companies. I think AEW definitely should have done their homework here. You got to cross T's and I's. Whatever, you can make the excuse that it was like a very quick turnaround. They should have caught it. Point blank, you're the second biggest wrestling company in the world. You have some culpability there. But bigger than that, I really want to emphasize this. Much bigger than that. The key issue here is that this policy exists in the first place. And you can talk, if you're a creator, if you're someone on Twitter who wants to defend such a policy, you can talk a big game when it's the industry leader. But we all know that if AEW was doing this, rightfully so, you would be blasting them. Rightfully so. We all know that if TNA was doing this, a lot of people would be rightfully blasting them. But to have the industry leaders say that you cannot go to any company for the next year and you are not getting paid out any portion of your contract, I don't care if it's for disciplinary reasons. I don't care. That is there is no justification for this, and I would bet legally there even with Trump in office, there's no way that this holds up in court. Because if this held up, I am telling you, large corporations are going to jump on this. This will be like essentially a new precedent that is going to be set for independent contractors in the way that they're treated. Yes, it is fucked. I don't like to curse. I'm trying my best not to curse anymore on these streams because I'm just trying to do that less. But my good dog, like this is just, there's just no way to condone this. There's being an industry leader. There's protecting your brand and all that stuff that entails. But by God, this is beyond excessive. Beyond excessive. I did want to acknowledge real quick, T Mills, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. I appreciate you so much, my friend. We are now 1 of 5 on the 5 super chat goal. If we hit 5, I will be doing a WrestleDream post show tonight. T-Mail says, enjoy WrestleDream, my dude. I have to wait tomorrow. I have to wait till tomorrow morning to watch as it is 1 a.m. over in the UK, but I have tomorrow off. We love that. Enjoy your Sunday. Hopefully you get to watch some of the dope matches that are going to be on WrestleDream. Unfortunately for you, no 3 p.m. Local start time for this show. You guys in the UK were getting spoiled with those. Well, for you, it was like 8 p.m. or something, so it was like kind of on time. I'm sure that was nice, though, compared to what time it usually is. But hopefully you enjoy it and, rest up and enjoy your day off, man. Appreciate the super chat. Or £5, I should say. It's £5. Why didn't Andrade know before he showed in AEW? Your guess is as good as mine. I am not, I don't know. He should be able to work here where he wants. WWE released him. Why did they give it? Because this is how they stop people from appearing. I think the way that it has been analyzed and reported was that the the main reason why WWE wants to do this is to ensure that no one can get fired and be just released from their contract in order to leave. That is the main thing. It is to stop, hypothetically, like, throw out a name. Dominic Mysterio. He won't do this, but like Dominic Mysterio. Okay. The reason why they have this insane thing in their policy is to stop a Dominic Mysterio from fighting someone backstage and WWE firing them outright for disciplinary reasons. And then because they're fired outright and they have no 90-day non-compete, they can just go to AEW. It's to stop that. It's to stop what Andrade did, or tried to do, in order to get back to WWE. It's to stop what CM Punk did to get out of his AEW deal. That's what this is to stop. Now, you can say all that, but and like, I think, in my view, I'm not for any type of non-compete because I am a union guy and I will always side with workers when it comes to things like this. And that is like, it goes beyond solidarity. It's just common sense. But it just doesn't, like you can somehow, I can see a world where someone can say, well, okay, maybe not immediately you're able to show up for somewhere, but to not pay someone out for that length of time and have them be forced to just sit at home and not work, you cannot do that. You cannot do that. That, like, if this goes to court, I promise you, unless something insane happens, unless like Triple H calls up Donald Trump and then Trump somehow convinces whatever right-wing judge it happens to be there, even then I'm like, this would F over so many people. It would be so bad. We have a law school expert, Wall Street Money, saying there is non-compete laws. Andrade can only sue if he has damage. It's all in the contract. He can sue for breach of contract. So we'll see. WWE are a bunch of if you're not going to allow the bed to work other companies, at least give him some money for it. He has bills in life. Yeah, I mean, I morally, you cannot you should not be able to stop someone from working for that long of a time. 1 year is an insane time. It is like this is some, WWE has gone a long way into trying to convince the public and convince courts that they are not a monopoly and that they're not violating any antitrust laws. This is not the smoking gun that they would need, but my goodness would be that. Does AEW have non-compete laws? To my knowledge, they do have similar non-competes in terms of talent getting released, as far as like the 90-day non-compete, but you are paid out. I'm not sure about the length exactly, but we know in situations where talent have been fired, CM Punk is the big one. CM Punk was a free agent, essentially. I just didn't realize it would be a year. I was wondering why Andrade came over so quickly. I'm a union person too. I was UFCW for 20 years. Nice. I'm CWA, Communication Workers of America. Shout out to you, Sharon. Shout out to union. Solidarity, all union people in the chat. To all my union homies. Should be paid even if he got fired. I mean, again, like, it's just, this reeks, man. This reeks. But AEW didn't stop Ricky Starks or Mariah May from going over to WWE, so why should WWE be doing this on Andrade? Those are different situations. Ricky Starks and Mariah May were not fired. Their contracts expired. If your contract expires and it's over and you used up the length of the deal, you are free to sign anywhere. That's the same in WWE. It is different than when you are fired. Again, like the CM Punk thing is the best example of this. Punk was essentially free to sign, to our knowledge. He was free to sign whenever, and he did. He did not have a lengthy non-compete. Bobby Lashley in love with Japanese culture. I mean, shout out to Bobby Lashley, man. Shout out to Bobby Lashley. What are your thoughts on WWE allegedly using AI for creative? Well, it's funny you mentioned that because I was actually planning on talking about that in this episode. Let's get into it. According to Wrestling Observer newsletter, F4W Online, there are reportedly some within WWE who believe that the company will be ushering in AI for storytelling is a sign the boom is over and that AI will take people's jobs. Okay. I am not a huge believer in the ability for AI to actually do certain jobs as effectively as humans. I think there's like research and things like that and like data analysis, sure. At the end of the day, AI is only as useful and as good as the people who harness it. But we do know that WWE, according to this report, has an AI system that they're already using. Def Rebel is like using AI. I think T-Mills, you just said it in the chat. That's crazy. Def Rebel is leaving soon. They're going to use AI to generate themes. I mean, no, Def Rebel was allegedly, according to some other musicians, already using AI to mimic other things. So, I mean, AI is here. It's something that people are obviously going to play around with. Like, there's going to be an AI boom at some, or an AI bubble burst at some point. I think like there's just too much volatility around it. I mean, like this MLK like stuff. I have a dream, and the dream is to win the WWE. Like that was insane, out of pocket. It should not be happening. People need to stop. But I think there's going to be a lot of regulation put in place over the next couple of years on AI, or at least there should be. As far as how it will affect WWE, I mean, look, you could argue that some of this stuff already feels like it's going into ChatGPT. Triple H is obviously very hands off with a lot of the WWE SmackDown stuff, especially to the point where he's like, a lot of the times he's not there, reportedly. And in my view, I think there's benefits to it for ideas like or like research. I think the idea that it would replace the writers or replace jobs, I think it's comical. I think it's just comical. Because if anyone who's ever used ChatGPT knows that, like, dog, like you can, it's not good. Like there's certain things it's useful for, but like writing in someone's voice and that kind of stuff, it's just not as useful for. And I'm someone who like I'm someone who writes like in people's voices. I'm someone who works in digital marketing. I'm someone who's part of his job is like to write tweets, right, for a living, write social posts for a living, come up with these strategies. And I can tell you from firsthand experience, like AI is not as good. It works fast, and there are certain applications for it, but it is just not as good at writing. We're not there yet. So, do I think that like it's gonna have a huge like effect? I don't think so. I hope it doesn't. What's up? I'm on my way to St. Louis. You can take me to St. Louis. I done in rain all day. Some stay. Wait, hold up. Yo, what? I'm mad that song. That song popped into my head, bro. Shout out to. My God, that was shout out to Judy Garland. It's crazy. But no, man. Shout out to Nelly for that. You can take me to St. Louis. Where they guns play, rain all day. Some say something, some say something. Someone else work all day. I don't know. Anyway, I'm pretty sure I can't say most of those words on this stream. Anyway, but St. Louis, fantastic town. Enjoyed it when I went. Loved the Arch. Went to a Cardinals game. Fun stuff. Leslie, I hope you enjoy the show. Enjoy some of that St. Louis barbecue if you get a chance to. The brisket is amazing over there. Go to ChatGPT and search book a CM Punk world title win. Actually, let's test this. This is a good. I like this. This is a good theory here. So let's open up ChatGPT. There it is. What are you working on? Let's ask ChatGPT something. Go to ChatGPT and search up book a CM Punk world title, or what does it got? World title reign from this moment. Have him beat Seth Rollins. Okay. Let's see where this goes. Okay. All right. The event. CM Punk. Oh, wait. Hold on. The return of the best in the world, phase 1. Event. CM Punk defeats Seth Rollins at Survivor Series or Crown Jewel. Well, Survivor Series to win the WWE Championship. Tone, emotional, cathartic win after a long journey back. Post-match, Punk cuts a promo, finally closing the loop after a decade away, dedicating the win to the fans who never stopped chanting his name. Rollins shakes his hand, solidifying Punk as the new face of Raw. Okay, then we go, this is not happening. We're not having no rematch with Seth. And then we got Drew McIntyre. Drew snaps after losing his own title shots, calls Punk a part-time saint, sets up Drew as Punk's first major challenger. Okay, so we're running it back. All right. We love that. Punk defends successfully at Elimination Chamber. Oh, God, we're already jumping around. Punk successfully defends at Elimination Chamber against McIntyre, Priest, and Gunther. Storyline. Punk as the People's Champion contrasts with the Judgment Day's dominance. He begins to call out the hypocrisy and teases alliances with the babyface, such as Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. Oh, well. See, again, this is very inaccurate. Okay, phase 3, the reality check. Punk faces Gunther at SummerSlam. Gunther mocks Punk's fragile old man or old body and internet cult. This becomes Punk's toughest physical test. The result, Punk barely wins, but he's physically broken down. Post-match, LA Knight comes down for a stare down, teasing a future clash. Oh my gosh, what else we got? LA Knight feud. Punk berates LA Knight as a catchphrase merchant. This literally happened like 2 weeks ago. That's crazy. And the kind of guy who would have made it in this era, in my era. Knight, being hot with the crowd, finally defeats Punk at Survivor Series for a title win. Oh my God, a year long of CM Punk. Hey man, shout out to Punk. Punk gives a bitter post-match promo, blaming the fans for turning on him and setting up a late career heel run in the WrestleMania season. I'm crying. I'm crying. They said, and then Punk complains. Oh, that's crazy, man. AI was one of the reasons Writers Guild gone on strike, but WWE have non-union writers, so they don't care. Yeah. But yeah, if only wrestlers could protect themselves and standardize contracts in a way that they don't get screwed over. If only there was some sort of union they could create in order to do that. Shout out to Jesse, the body mentor, for trying. So it sounds like Drew's like, yeah, no, they got Drew on. They got Drew. WWE fans would eat this up. It makes no sense, but some people will always eat it up. Shay in the chat asks, should Darby Allin and Jon Moxley main event tonight? In my view, yes. I wholeheartedly believe that they should main event tonight. Yeah. Let them cook. You can take me to St. Louis where the guns flash, rain all day. Wait, what is this? Gonna be an awesome show. I'm making a stop for some green medicine first. Hey, man. Shout out. Shout out to Hulk Hogan for snitching. Yeah. Shout out to Hulk Hogan for snitching out his coworkers trying to unionize to Vince McMahon in order to stop those union efforts. Shout out for sure. For sure. We got to shout that out, right? Anyway, guys, shout out to you guys who've been here so far. Be sure to smash that thumbs up if you haven't already. We have a 5 super chat goal. If we hit 5, then I will be live post AEW WrestleDream tonight. We've hit 1 of 5. Let's try to get there. Also, consider becoming a member. Get yourself access to some exclusive stuff and support your favorite content creator. Let's talk about AEW WrestleDream. Live tonight from the Chaifetz Arena in St. Louis, Missouri. People are wondering, what's this show going to look like? Obviously, we know some of the bigger matches, but first, let's look at the morning update via WrestleTix, the best source for wrestling ticket information and attendance. AEW WrestleDream, Chaifetz Arena. The arena can hold, I think, up to 9,000. It's a smaller, medium-sized arena. It's not one of those 20,000 seat basketball arenas, but here we have it. WrestleDream. Current setup, 6,300. Tickets distributed, 6,100. You compare this to the last time that they ran this arena. It was, where was it? It was Dynasty last year. Here we go. Last year, they had 6,600, just over 6,600. I was sitting right here, front row right here. Actually not front row, but you can't see. I just realized you can't see my cursor. Anyway, but so obviously they're set up for less than they had last year, relatively in the same range. So definitely an indication that people don't view this on the same level as an All In. Definitely an indication that people don't view this pay-per-view on the same level as an All Out. Definitely an indication that people don't view this pay-per-view in the same level as a Full Gear. It is not one of the big 5 pay-per-views that AEW has, because so their bigger pay-per-views are Revolution, Double or Nothing, All In, All Out, Full Gear, and Forbidden Door. So I guess they have big 6 pay-per-views. Because Forbidden Door, I believe, outside of All In, Forbidden Door is their, as far as attendance and ticket sales, it's their best show year to year. Anyway, but part of the reason I think that this show has been also a little underwhelming has been the short time frame. Only a month out from the previous show, and the builds have been inconsistent. You've had 2, I would say, really good builds in the Tony Storm Chris Statlander match and the Jon Moxley and Darby Allin match, but then you have Samoa Joe versus Hangman Page, which I'm not gonna say was a bad build, but it was a quick one, and there's some holes there. But, I think the end goal there was, let's get Page a quick opponent in between now and Full Gear, when the likely scenario is that we're going to see MJF return. I'll go over the matches in just a second, but overall, it's been what it is. Let's take a look at the matches on the main card. On the main card, not including the pre-show, there are 8 matches. A far cry from the 14 that Tony Khan used to bless us with back in the day, but I am not complaining, because I think 7 to 8 is probably the sweet spot for an 8 p.m. start time show. On the pay-per-view tonight, we have the Young Bucks versus Jungle Jack Perry and Luchasaurus. Jurassic Express versus the Young Bucks. $500,000 on the line. You have a tornado tag team match. The Hurt Syndicate versus The Demand. You have the AEW World Championship on the line in 2 matches. The AEW Men's World Title on the line. Hangman Page versus Samoa Joe. And the AEW Women's World Championship on the line with Toni Storm and Chris Statlander defending her title. You also have the tag team belts on the line. Bro Dito versus Konosuke Takeshita and Kazuchika Okada. The TNT Championship on the line with Mark Briscoe and the champion Kyle Fletcher and Mercedes Moné will be hosting a TBS title open challenge. And of course, Tekla versus Jamie Hayter rounding out those undercard matches with what I believe is going to be the main event. I Quit, live from WrestleDream, going to be insane between Jon Moxley and Darby Allin. This show, of course, a tribute show to the great Antonio Inoki, one of the greatest professional wrestlers to ever walk this earth, one of the most fantastic and most influential wrestlers of all time, one of my personal favorite wrestlers, the aura, the absolute spectacle that would exude out of Antonio Inoki when he would walk down the arena would be palpable. And I just want to say shout out to Antonio Inoki. This would be a perfect time to take the TNT belt off of Kyle Fletcher and put him in the main event primarily. I think we're a little bit away from that. I think if Kyle wins, it's going to be earlier in that year. It's going to be earlier in 2026. I don't think right now is the time. Wait, if Mercedes has a match, then that's 9 matches. Fuck. Ah, man, I'm not supposed to be cursing. Damn it. I guess it's 9. Do you like the Death Riders more now that Jon Moxley is not holding the belt hostage? 100%. Much better right now. Leslie Farrell says, I think it was $125 for 3 tickets. Or Farlow, excuse me. Farrow. What did I get? Leslie Farlow, excuse me. I think it was $125 for 3 tickets. That's a good deal in this economy. In this economy, it is a very good deal, and it's crazy, man. Leslie says I went to Dynasty 2. It was a fun show. I was there last year. Swerve Strickland winning the belt. Everybody dancing. It was a fun time. It was a very fun time. Man. Guys, leave your chats. Let me know what's on your mind. Have you seen Ilya Dragunov versus Sami Zayn for the U.S. title? In my opinion, the best TV match in WWE this year. It was up there. It was up there. It was a fantastic match. I very much enjoyed it. I thought, seeing Ilya back, tattoo and everything. I have mixed feelings on the tattoo, but seeing Ilya back is great, man. He looks to be in fantastic shape. He's been out for over a year. He's one of my favorites personally, so I love seeing Ilya Dragunov cook, man. And he cooked with one of my other favorites, Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn versus Ilya Dragunov, main event of WrestleMania. Let's do it. AEW pay-per-views are like holidays for me. Yeah, man. It's a fun time. Always a fun time. I'm so interested to see what happens here. Like, this is a good, like, exercise. Actually, hold up. You know what? This might be a good assignment. Okay, in the chat, guys. In the chat, hit me with your prediction. How does either Jon Moxley or Darby Allin make the other quit? I want to hear from you. We'll read them out. We'll talk about it because these are two of the most risky and just insane professional wrestlers that there have ever been. So, like, and the stakes of our people have been set on fire. People have been put in body bags. People have been put in coffins. Darby Allin, like, had like shards of like his inside. Like, there's virtually nothing that these two can't do. So at what point is one of these two gonna say I quit? In the chat, let me know. In the meantime, we will get answers to this as well from Mr. Chat GPT, and we shall ask we should ask, ChatGPT is NB, so we will not be asking Mr. We will be asking ChatGPT. Okay, actually, yeah, you have to be kind of specific. This is called harnessing AI. Watch what I'm about to do. Because you got to be very, very specific with ChatGPT. Okay, there's a main event I Quit match between Darby Allin and Jon Moxley. These two have already set each other on fire. These two have already had a coffin match. These two are two of the most insane wrestlers. I spelled insane wrong. Insane wrestlers ever. How do we raise the stakes at AEW WrestleDream, and how does this match end? Who says I quit? Let's see. All right, here we go. I never thought about the Renee. Oh, we got a Renee scenario. Wait, what? Hold up. I really hope Darby Allin, Jon Moxley don't go too far. They hurt each other. I mean, obviously, I hope so too. Last year, Dynasty was really good. Memorable show. Bryan versus Will, one of the best matches ever. Young Bucks versus FTR. Swerve versus Joe. Fantastic stuff. Darby Allin holds Renee hostage, and he makes John quit. That would be crazy. Are we talking a Darby Allin heel turn? Would that be a Darby Allin heel turn? That would be wild. Betting my student loans, there's going to be blood in that match. There 100% will be. What are you saying, man? Excited for WrestleDream? What's up, Caracol? I am very excited. So excited that I am having AI put together some scenarios for tonight. All right, here we go. Act 1, the setup. Leading into the match, the promos focus on less on hatred and more of an addiction to pain. I mean, look, that AEW might have hit the AEW might have hit up ChatGPT for some ideas too, considering Dynamite this past week. All right, Act 2, the match, raising the stakes. This can't be another hardcore brawl. It needs to be unique, almost cinematic escalation. Stipulation twist: the ring is surrounded by wooden planks, barbed wire, coffin debris from their previous matches. Okay. A literal graveyard of their history. The weapons mean something this time. Hey, yo, ChatGPT. Okay, I might have cooked you a little too much. Moments. Moxley fishhooks Darby with barbed wire and screams, "Say it." Darby spits blood back at him. Darby jumps off a 20-foot lighting rig onto Moxley through a table of thumbtacks. Moxley hits a paradigm shift onto the steel steps, then rolls him into a choke. Darby passes out, but the ref doesn't call it because Darby didn't say I quit. Mox has to wake him up to say I quit. Darby crawls out of the ring, ties his skateboard to his arm, and grinds Mox like a rail, ripping skin open. Hey, yo. Oh, God. Then we got the emotional peak. They both bled buckets. They're exhausted. Nick Wayne. Oh, no. You see, AI is trash. It doesn't even know that Nick Wayne and Darby haven't been aligned for 2 years. Oh, no. Oh, no. Nick Wayne doing a run-in. Bro has a broken foot. Oh, no. They ruined it. I was with it, too. I was with it. GPT, dog, I was with it. What are you doing? Oh, all right. Nick Wayne comes to ringside begging him to stop. Mox grabs Nick and screams, "This is your hero, kid. This is what happens when you chase ghosts." Oh, that's a fire line. Darby, broken but defiant, whispers, "I'll never quit for me, but I'll quit for him." He takes the mic and finally says, "I quit." Boo! Mox releases the choke, looks disgusted, walks away. No victory celebration. He wanted Darby's soul, not just a win, and he got it. Darby left crying, holding Nick in his hand, realizing he did not do it. Oh my God. Boo! Boo! ChatGPT. That was ass. That was trash. No more AI. No more AI. That was so bad. That was so bad. Like you built me up just to break me down like that. How dare you, ChatGPT? How dare you? This match should definitely main event. I agree. I wholeheartedly agree. This match needs the main event. Kiriko says, I'm a bit sick, spent the day in bed, but I'm ready for WrestleDream. Thank God tomorrow is Sunday. Well, I hope you feel better. I hope you eat your vitamins, say your prayers, dude. But no, seriously, feel better. Hate being sick. F that cold. WrestleDream predictions. I'll get into that in just a second. Dakota Kai, Jay White return. I think Jay White probably could return. I could see Jay White returning tonight. I'm not sure about Dakota Kai debuting. Perhaps. Be a good way to bring things off. I think if Jay White comes back, he's going to go after Hangman. I think that's who he goes after. It's going to be Hangman. Or maybe we get an MJF return tonight. All right. Let's get to my WrestleDream predictions. Okay, we got a bunch of matches here to talk about. Bro Dito versus the Don Callis families, Konosuke Takeshita, the newly crowned IWGP World Champion, and the Unified Champion, Kazuchika Okada. A lot of different ways you could go with this. You could go with the way of Okada potentially being, or Okada and Takeshita breaking down. You could go that way. You could go the way of them winning the belt and then at a later point breaking down and maybe Okada costs Konosuke the belt and that's what leads into their big feud over the next couple of months. In my view, I think that there is a lot more meat on this bones if we see Okada and Takeshita as a tag team. I think the way I would do it is they've been teasing all this tension. Let that go away for a little bit. Have them win tonight. Have them begin to be more cohesive. They are two alphas, but have them be on the same page. And then the second things go wrong, blows up. It just explodes. The mega powers collide. Okada walks away. Says, I don't need this. I'm a unified champion already. F you, Konosuke Takeshita. Leave Takeshita out to dry. Someone else wins the tag team titles. And then that's how you build up the frustration between these two. I think for that reason, I think the Don Callis family walks away with more gold tonight. I think they should walk away with more gold tonight. We will see if that is the case. A quicker prediction. TNT title on the line. Kyle Fletcher, Mark Briscoe. I love Mark Briscoe. But Kyle Fletcher will walk away as the winner. You also have Tekla versus Jamie Hayter. Tekla got to get a big win here. And Jamie Hayter got to get a big win. Time limit draw. Tell me when I'm telling lies. I can't believe I actually said time limit draw. We got $500,000 on the line. Ain't no way the Bucks are walking away with $500,000, especially in Jurassic Express's first big match back. Give me Jurassic Express for the dub. Tornado Trios match, the rubber match between the Demand and the Hoyt Syndicate. Give me the Hoyt Syndicate. They Hoyt people. They Lance Hoyt people. Of course, then you have the World Championship matches. The AEW Men's World title on the line. Hangman Adam Page versus Samoa Joe. I think what they've done here is beautiful. Joe gets his first chance at the title ever since losing it back last year in this very city. The same city that he lost the World Championship to Swerve in last year at Dynasty. He returns to the same arena to try to win it back. He will obviously not win that match. Hangman Page is probably going to win, which is why I would not have this match go on last. And I would do a Jay White return or an MJF return setting up the next pay-per-view. Next, you have the women's world title. I love the build. Toni Storm versus Kris Statlander. I have a hot take tonight. I think tonight we see the death of timeless Toni Storm. And by that, I mean, I think Toni is still going to keep some of the same mannerisms. I think Toni is still going to keep like the aesthetic to an extent. I think timeless Toni Storm, though, dies tonight. I think timeless Toni Storm is done after tonight. I think we'll get another version of this, an evolved version, potentially a heel version. But I think tonight's the night that Kris Statlander beats Toni Storm and it breaks her. It breaks Toni down mentally in a way that even Mariah May didn't. And then I'm interested to see the creative direction they go in there. Then you have, of course, the main event, or what I hope is going to be the main event, Jon Moxley versus Darby Allin. I quit. I don't know how this match is going to go. I legitimately don't. Moxley won the first one. They are building this up to be the big match. I thought they were going to have like 3 matches and then like there would be like a barbed wire death match or something to close things out. At this point, I'm unsure how things are going to go. But what I will say, I think that Jon Moxley walks away the winner. I'm not sure how. I think I don't think the Renee scenario is going to happen because that only happens if Darby turns heel. I don't see them having Darby turn heel. So in that case, I don't really see that working. So that's my thing. Tonight we will get Ocarina of Time. Let's Toni Storm. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Joker Toni Storm. That's a good one too. Someone said the Young Bucks flying coach while Kenny and Kota fly in private. Kota is not flying anywhere. Kota, I believe, is still in the hospital. Shout out to Kota Ibushi, who suffered a broken femur. Prayers up for him. One of these live streams, you need to be wearing this tuxedo. It will happen one day. It will happen one day. Dream big, kids. Dream big. If Jay White returns, he should help Darby after the match and build towards blood and guts. He should be booked to win in his return so that they keep him away from Hangman. Can only keep him away from Hangman for so long. And that's a guy. Hangman always loses to Jay White. That's always been the story with these two. I hope Dakota is always my favorite. Yep, shout out to Dakota Kai, man. Landmark Briscoe win the TNT title because... Landmark Briscoe wins the TNT title because of Kenny Omega. You think Kenny Omega interferes? That would be crazy. I believe Darby Allin is going to win because he has nothing to do, really. He has nothing to lose, a lot to gain. We'll see. Anyway, guys, that's really about it. I've got a few things I got to do today. I have a video posting up on the channel tomorrow. New video posting up on the channel tomorrow. I also I'm going to have a bunch of member exclusive content coming to the channel. If you have not become a member, what in God's name are you waiting for? For $5 a month, you get access to custom emotes. You'll guarantee that your question gets read out on the air on these streams for the next month. And you get access to exclusive videos, member exclusive videos that are locked behind that paywall. And you get to support yours truly. $5 a month. Consider becoming a member and supporting what we do here because it's what we do. We do it better than everyone. But yeah, hit that join button, hit that like button if you haven't already done so. Let me know what kind of videos you guys want me to see in the comment section below, or you guys want me to make, excuse me, in the comment section below as well. I want to hear from you guys. You guys are the lifeblood of this. Lifeblood. Until next time, I love all of you guys. Until next time, be happy, be healthy, and as always, keep it real.